Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In this Hearthstone Mercenaries comp guide, I'm going to take a look at a Bwonsamdi bounce comp. Bwonsamdi is one of the more interesting new mercenaries. Bwonsamdi has some sweet equipment in Arena Contender. Battlecry this Mercs abilities refresh by 2. And then Bwonsamdi has Irrefutable Deal. Choose one of Bwonsamdi's deals, increase the cooldown of this ability by 1, and one of the deals is going to return all mercenaries on both sides back to hand. So with that, you can do some interesting moves. For example, in all of the elite fights, the opponent actually only has 3 slots on their board. So they start with 4 Mercs, you bounce them, and they can only play 3 of them on board at the same time. So one of them is going to stay on the bench and will be brought in later, but that's just going to make elite fights so much easier. Sadly, this does not extend to most of the boss fights, like I tried Heroic Tractar. And yeah, Heroic Tractar is just going to bring all the ads right back in. However, Kutoon, for example, 3 ads at the start, they are going to come in one by one. So in some cases it works, in most cases it doesn't. But this comp does make elite fights quite simple. As a downside, it is pretty slow, even in its faster variants. There's a couple of different ways that you can play with this. Bwonsamdi, of course, with that bounce effect being at the center of both, as well as Nemsy with Bog Moss. And because Nemsy is going to summon Boggy as a battle cry, that means that you bounce Nemsy to the bench, you bring Nemsy back, bounce Nemsy to the bench, bring Nemsy back. You're going to have multiple Boggies. And with Bog Moss equipment, that's going to mean a lot of damage reduction. But in addition to Bwonsamdi and Nemsy, the third Merc, you can have a couple of options with third Merc. The fastest way typically is to use Rogers. When you have Rogers with Skyguard, Swashbuckling Sash, Rogers is just going to attack into something, and then you have Maestra on the bench. Maestra with Mask of Mimicry, so Rogers is going to attack into something, deal damage. Maestra is going to replace Rogers, deal damage. Bwonsamdi is going to bounce everything back at the end of the turn, so that you can play Rogers again next turn, and then you can get Maestra again next turn, so double damage 2 turns in a row, even more, even 3 turns in a row. And all of that improved by Medivh, because Medivh has stuff of Atiesh, start of game, keep friendly casters, +5/+10. So now you're going to have more stats on those and they're going to do a lot of attacking. However, it doesn't always work, it's not always enough damage, especially in some of the boss fights. In which case I have found that Khadgar actually gets to do a lot of stuff. Well, Khadgar is just so incredibly powerful. Khadgar with the Bitter Chill equipment. So you can also play this with Nemsy Bwonsamdi Khadgar. In that case, you're not attacking, you're not summoning Maestra from the bench. Instead, what you're doing is that you're repeatedly bouncing, you're getting a lot of Boggies, and Khadgar is going to keep rooting all of your enemies. Boggies are going to reduce taken damage, so then you just become this super slow but really powerful grinding machine. Because in addition to rooting, Khadgar also has Hearthfire, so Khadgar is also going to be buffing those Boggies, so that's another approach, more effective in some of the boss fights as well, which is why I kind of like putting all of these together so that you can choose between one and the other, especially seeing how the Rogers comp is typically faster. Bwonsamdi's bounce mechanic does make all of the elite fights really simple, but most of the boss fights, the boss will be able to come back to the board together with all of their ads, so it's not quite as effective in the boss fights. And that kind of means that this comp is not super great, but if you want to be playing with Bwonsamdi, then there's definitely one way to go with that. And this is what it all looks like in action. Alright, Bwonsamdi bounce meeting an elite caster fight. Dazzling and flexing. Let's see how this one's going to go. Alright, I'm actually not attacking with that one. This one is going to Skyguard over there. And we're going to do a Deal of Fear. Right, we're working on getting this Malfurion off the board. But we actually can't because Reno is there. But that's totally fine too. They're trying to hit Bwonsamdi. Bwonsamdi is not taking damage. Nope. Instead we have Rogers hitting, and then we get some hits in the mouth. And now, thanks to the bounce, it's going to be only 3 mercenaries that I'm going to be up against on the next round. So here we go. I think this is the order that I'm looking for here. I have my Rogers in the middle. Alright. And then Rogers obviously is going to be sky guarding again. About the others, we're going to Bogonomics into Rogers. Try to attack a little bit from there. Some AoE and healing. Nothing too major. I don't think I need another bounce right now. It's an option, of course, to bounce again. I believe this will be fine. Pow, 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 pow. He went for more heals. Alright. Reno's still down. G is still down. Of course, there's Malfurion left. And there's going to be another one coming. No, this will be a fine spot for Maestra. Into the frying pan it is. Let's go, let's go. Gain the roll advantage there. Blast in. Looks good. Here goes Malf. Oh. Malf is dead. Scabs does barely survive. But not for very long. Because here we go. Actually, we can blast it with that one. Boom. Very, very strong against these elite fights. Well, this is certainly not the fight I want to face as the bounce comp, because there's Nesot, and Nesot is going to be stealing my stuff. Yeah, that's not fun. But it is what it is. Let's go with what we've got. I really want to get rid of this Nesot because it's going to be stealing Boggy a lot. Probably going to try to steal Boggy every turn. So that's quite annoying. Do a deal of fear here. Alright, let's go. Do the best we can to whack that Nesot, including bringing this Maestra here. Not quite enough damage to kill it though. It will get to steal my Boggy. Sad times. Turn everyone back to the bench. Okay. I'm uncertain as to which order I would want to position these, but I think we could try something like this. Right, we should still be fine with the Maestra. We'll see if Nesot arrives. Nesot doesn't have a lot of health right now, so we can just snipe it with Bwonsamdi. No bounce backs right now. Except that it's protected by Boggy now. So actually Bwonsamdi is not... deals just enough damage to snipe it. Exactly enough damage. Alright. We get to do the snipe. That's good. I'm blasting with the Sky Guard. Doing some Bogonomics. Ah, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. I'll get rid of Nesot so my Boggies won't be stolen anymore. Alright. Looking good. Maestra a little bit more on the middle.
No one crosses the uncrowned.
The uncrowned are coming. Fine, fine. Bogonomics the Maestra. And the Maestra can shifting strike. While we're blasting away here, I believe. No need to do a bounce right now. Shifting strike is already pretty powerful. And that's all we need. Actually need to boggy blast, dirty tricks and subjugation. And that's gonna be fine. Pow pow. Alright, Bwonsamdi bounce comp, let's go. So the thing here is we're buffing that one up. We're going to do some Deal of Fearing. Khadgar will start with some blizzards. And later on move to hard firing. Yep, they're attacking a little bit, but not too much because of the, well, blizzard. Oh wow. Mercs returning to bench. Wee. Probably should not have attacked with this turn one though. But it's alright. And we bring them back. And we get more boggies. And 4 enemies because it's an elite fight. Except that there's only space for 3. So they can't bring everyone. Yay. Alright, and then we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to Bogonomics here. Actually, probably don't have to do the same thing again. Yeah, I might as well do the Deal of Vanity here. And Bogonomics the Bwonsamdi. Then send these to attack, buffed by Heartfire. Actually works really well. All enemies have to target that one if at all possible. Now it has taunt. Everything is possible. That one still went that way. Was the random attack? Be that as it may, must band together, united for Dalaran. And pow wow wow. Blasting here, blasting there. Khadgar just handles the job. And this boggy grows. Yeah, Devil's Roar can charge, but makes no difference. They get to bring the 4th Merc. But it's a little late. Because boom boom. Here we go. Blast that one down. A bit in that one. Get some buffs to Boggy. Boggy finish it off. Boom. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.